I think, than anybody I can put a name to promote our sport.
The archer who owns all the world records, John Demmer III.
You know, the more difficult a thing is, the more important the mental game becomes.
I didn't eat any supper yet either. How about you guys? Did you guys eat yet?
I didn't eat
Oh,
that.
you know,
I got some crunch berries.
Oh, yeah.
Grayson Parlow.
It's like me taking 3 or 4 years off your eyes just because I weakened that prescription in the shooting eye.
And don't put everything into my shot that I should, that I get a lot of drop on those heavy arrows. It's dropping all the way down into the sixth. And he said, well, you might want to think about going to a lighter arrow and string walking. And that's what got that started.
What's up, Barebow Project? Another episode for you. And this one is with the legend himself, Mr. Spanky Brooks. So little known fact, Spanky reached out to me, requested to do some coaching with his recovery since having surgery. And needless to say, I'm absolutely honored that he asked. But he had some quick improvements, as some of you may have saw through social media. So, but anyway, listen, I'm not going to bore you with anything else. All I'm going to ask is that, you pay the fee. The fee's not a monetary thing. The fee is if this episode or any episode helps you, if you thought it was funny, if you thought it was entertaining, if you think that something you heard could potentially help someone else, share the episode. That's your fee. Share the episode. That's it. If you think there's something in there that's going to help a barebow archer, share the episode. But with that being said, enjoy this episode. Peace out. Spanky, I bet you 85, 90% of the people, 95% of the people out there do the exact same thing that you do, and they don't even realize it.
Right. I have absolutely no problem, Frank, of getting this out, whatever.
We'll go through the full story, so people are like, and start from the beginning, like how long you've been shooting and how you've developed the way that you shot up until surgery. And then, what you want to do moving forward. And I will tell you that, in my opinion, shooting this way, the way that I teach and the way that I train myself to shoot doesn't always happen perfect. I can tell you that much. But, it's less of, there's less of a response to the body. So, what I mean by that, and if you watched any, like the videos, I would say in the last 6 to 8 months of the way that I've switched, when it really started to make sense, when that string pulls through, nothing moves. It's like, I just stay here and this is where it's done. Mm-hmm. But it's a major adjustment. And I'm curious to say, when you take an old dog that's been in the game for a long time and pursue this, I'm going to warn you, you will see it's going to be tough. Initially, it's going to be tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And scores might not be in the best place, but considering you're coming from surgery, you were going to deal with that anyway in some ways.
Right. Yep.
So, maybe it's, I just want to, I want to put that out there. I want you to understand that it's not when you start making those changes. So before I get into the coaching discussion, how about, because people are going, I'm going to just use what we're working with right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to I want you, let's tell me who you are, how long you've been shooting barebow, and then, let's talk about shoulder surgery and what prompted you to seek coaching and help with the holding thing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start way back. I started archery in 1980.
I was 2 years ago.
Yeah. That's when I took my first deer with archery. And of course, I shot compound. I shot compound for 20 years, but I was a finger shooter. I never went to release. I did go there for a while with one pin, but I was a face walker. I would walk my face for the different yardages. Then I got into traditional 1999. Yeah, somewhere in there. Shot traditional, long bows, recurves, self bows. I mean, I've done all right with them, but at the IBO Trad Worlds, the guys that were shooting the RUs at that time, which is bare bow now, man, they were putting up these big scores. So I'm going to say I'm going into 6 years maybe now shooting bare bow. I've never, I've not got a lot of, well, I don't know how to say that. At the IBO trad, I have taken 4 seconds, 2 in longbow, 1 in south bow, and 1 in RU. I've never taken first place. I got very few #1 titles. Let's put it that way. That's what I was trying to say. So everything I've done has been self-taught. I did go see Rod Jenkins last summer for one day, which he pointed out things I did that I thought there ain't no way I'm doing it till he videoed me, you know. And then when I've said something to the guys I shoot with here, they go, "Oh, hell, you've done that for years," you know. Okay. So, but then now I had shoulder surgery on my right arm 5 years ago, which that one come back, no big deal. But I know one of my problems is my release. Everybody says I got good form, but it's my release. I'll come off my face. So I have been working very, very hard on that.
What have you been doing to work on that?
I'm going to say I'm going on 1.5, 2 years, just trying to keep my hand on my face.
Okay.
Which Rod noticed I was not quite in alignment. Since I'm getting in alignment, it's been easier. So, and then when I had shoulder surgery on my left shoulder, I am right now 12 weeks out from surgery, and I've already been shooting for 2 weeks, which everybody's saying that I shouldn't be, but hey, the therapist and the surgeon said I could shoot, so by God, I'm going to be shooting. So, but I noticed when I started, my arm was weak. After the shot, it's hard to even now keep the bow up, you know, after the shot.
Right.
But like I said, I seen the deal on yours, and you talk about the hold. Now I've done blind bail. God, I can do it. My hand stays on my face, slides back to my earlobe every time.
Yeah.
But when I aim at a target, I wave. So for me to get up there in the standings, because John Demmer and Parlow, all them boys, I want to whip, and I want to whip them bad.
You and me both, bud. You and me both. I find myself having these coaching conversations more than having shooting opportunities for myself these days, but that's okay. No, I love that intensity, man. I mean, that's it. You have to be driven like that to make it work.
Right.
You know, and like I said about recording this for everyone to watch and listen to is because I don't think that people realize how difficult it is to shoot that way, but once you get it, it's a million times easier.
Right.
And you know, and I know you know Maggie and who and what she's accomplished. And the first time I worked with Maggie on this, because she was very much raw talent for quite a while.
Right.
And then because with barebow, you ride, we call it like a honeymoon period when you first get started, and you really like because there's no anticipation, there's no expectation. It's just like this excitement keeps you so focused on it that you do great. And then sooner or later that plateau comes, and like you can only work so hard to get to the plateau, but a lot of people get stuck at the plateau, and when they don't progress, they go the opposite direction, or they're constantly doing this then for a long time. And I told her for almost a year, I said, we're going to change the way you shoot sooner or later, but why?
Right.
Why? And I was like, we will when the time is right. The time's not right just yet. Within 12 arrows. So she's a quick learner. So, and she pays very good attention to detail. And within like 12 arrows, she goes, why didn't you teach this to me before? This is so much easier.
Right.
And
Yep.
and it took me 2 years of listening to Demmer and Grayson talk about it, and trying to put the physical to the mental, like, and to the words, the descriptive words, to understand, holy crap, this does make sense. But it wasn't until after I took my level 4, and I don't want to use that word. I used NTS a little too much and realized how counterproductive NTS was versus what John and Grayson were describing to me, and learning, because I'm still new into barebow. I'm really only in the barebow like 4 years now, I think, myself. But I was just determined to be educated on it and be like, how is it that someone can be so incredibly calm and consistent, and shoot. And it was very unnerving to be like, why is it that I can pick up an Olympic recurve and I can just shoot top 20 scores in the country probably in 2 weeks if I wanted to, but with a barebow it's so much harder. And so that being said, I think this journey for you is going to, as soon as the light bulb does go on, you're gonna realize how much more fun it is to shoot archery, and how less, I don't want to take away from the amount of arrows that you shoot, but you kind of don't have to shoot as many arrows to be as consistent. This style of shooting, let's just put it that way,
Right.
because it's so simple, and you don't realize it's simple. It just takes a lot of arrows to get to that point.
Right.
But so at any rate, as you go into this change in your shot process and your mental game, there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk to you right now about, and that's about the approach to the shot and what I call the building blocks of the mental game. And excuse my language, but you have to have zero fucks to give, and I'm not going to put that in the podcast about your score, where the arrow lands, who's standing next to you, who's shooting around you, anything at all. You're focused on, you have one job to do, and you're going to focus on that job. All right.
Right.
So the concept of the form, or the way that I describe the approach to the shot process, is that you are strictly your job is to put yourself in a good holding position, and you're going to let the bow shoot the arrow. You are not interfering with that shot. So what that means is that the perfect shot ultimately is you put the tip of the arrow wherever your aim point is, 6 o'clock, right on the gold, whatever, and you leave it there, and you maintain the hold here. There's a conscious approach to that, right?
Right.
But you continue that hold until your subconscious is allowed to take over. And the only thing that happens at that point is it allows the string to pull through the fingers.
Okay.
So the response, your body's response to that string pulling through, is strictly maintaining the alignment, and because everybody knows the term barrel of the gun, you know what that is, right?
Right. Yep.
So you're still maintaining that barrel of the gun after the shot, but you're not dynamically adding any movement into the shot.
Right.
So you're here, string pulls through, you finish wherever the 38 pounds, 40 pounds, 42 pounds, whatever, wherever that is, wherever that finish is, depending on the amount of weight that you have on your tension and your string, that's where you finish, and that's where you finish every time.
Right.
That's really in it. But what it is, or what I have found that gets people into that state of mind and that confidence, is what I call the building blocks of the mental game. You have a foundation to your mental game. Just think of it as the block foundation of a home, except the blocks are all different sizes. And in the foundation of the building blocks of the mental game, every block is consumed or is inhabited by part of your shot process. Everything from your stance to the knocks in your arrows, your tune, to the mechanics of your release, your posture, your aiming, your holding, this, that. You just continually, those blocks, you have a constant foundation of your mental game, but those blocks may shift in size, maybe get a little bit smaller. It depends on what you need to work on at that given time. So right now we're working on your hold. So your hold is the biggest block in the middle of your foundation right now. That's the one we're working on. And connected to that block is your bow arm movement, and connected to that block is your release hand movement. When I talk about the idea of, if you've watched any of the videos about tension and direction, or the 50-50, I talk about splitting tension and direction 50-50. Have the same exact movement and tension on both sides of your body. If you split your body right down the middle, and our goal is to have the same stability and tension on this side as on this side, so that when that string does break, we aren't going. What happens is we go like this, and then this bow arm moves like this.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And did you ever see me do the arm circle drill?
No.
All right. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to back up. Stand up and like back up away from the camera. All right. I want you to put your arms out like this. And I want you to take your release hand, and I want you to make tiny little circles with it. Then I want you to take your bow arm, and I want you to make big circles with it. And tell me what happens. It's tough, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you can stop now. It looks funny, and everybody's going to laugh at this. So why is that so tough?
Because you're trying to concentrate on both of them.
Yeah. Ultimately, what ends up happening is we quickly go from this big circle to this little circle, and they're going to want to go the same. It's super easy for us to go like this and go the same direction, the same size, or even opposite directions, right? So we can do this super easy. I think you can train yourself to do this big movement here and this little movement here, but let's not fight our body and our brain if we don't have to. Our body wants to even everything out. It wants the 50-50. So let's work with that instead of work against it. And that's why, like, one of the things John and I often, John will send me a video of somebody, or somebody will send a video to Demer. And one of the first things we always say is, like, people have these big explosive movements. Get rid of the big explosive movements. Right. The big explosive movements and your lack of commitment to not doing that is one of the things that it's a buildup of tension that creates all of that big movement, which just exacerbates the target panic. Right. So we have to be committed to not moving and just letting the bow sit, just letting the release happen, good posture, and the hand string pulls through, boom, it stops. That's it. We just maintain the barrel of the gun. I'm staying here. I'm done. I'm not moving. You know what I mean? Right. And that's really like the mindset that we're going to go through with you. We're going to change that mindset where your commitment is strictly to a hold. the bow arm not moving, letting that bow rock back and forth or whatever it does after the shot.
Right.
You know, that hand is just relaxed. The bow does what it does, and your finished position is in that same spot every time. It's not going to be perfect every time. And
No.
I'm going to send you a video to watch after this, which currently is only a video that's available to like the Patreons. Like I have like a group where people are like throw $5 a month, $5 a month, $5 a week or whatever, like to the Bear Bell Project for that information. It's a video for them, but I'm gonna send it to you to watch and kind of understand the concept a little bit more. So, and then I'll send you, there's a video for the 3 coaching positions. Position 1 is like looking at me this way as a shooter. Position 2 is from behind where I can see your alignment. Position 3 is from behind you. And then position 4, you might need some help with, and I don't know if you want your wife to do it, but it's from above so that I can see your alignment from the top down.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The fact of the matter is that there's people out there that shoot really, really, really well with not the best alignment and maybe even not like the most consistent release, but usually something is consistent and it could be that they just shoot hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of arrows to make it consistent and shoot with just the utmost confidence because they feel prepared for whatever it is they're pursuing. So, couple questions. Do you have the ability to get those videos to me in the next like week or so?
I was gonna say I can probably video little segments on my phone.
Yep, that's fine. And just Facebook message them to me. And so, and for moving forward, I refer to shooting drills. There's multiple that I implement, and I'll explain those as we work through this. Blind bail for me is 3-5 meters, eyes closed. Okay. And the eyes closed isn't, you're not shooting the whole shot with your eyes closed. You're still going through the entire shot with your eye open, coming in to anchor, you know, you're aiming, but then when you close your eyes, it's a 2-second, 3-second hold,
Right.
allowing that string then to pull through, and you just practice that perfect hold, that perfect release, right? Blank bail, no target, 18 meters or longer, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And then I have a plethora of other drills that we'll go over as we get to that point. Right now, what poundage are you shooting?
I'm gonna say I'm roughly 36, 38. I have not scaled it.
Okay. And that's good on your shoulder right now?
Yeah.
No issues at all. Okay.
No.
All right. I might bring my partner at my range that owns the CrossFit gym. I might bring him into the conversation. He's also an archer, but he shoots compound, but we might work on some exercises. Are you doing any rehab or anything right now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've
Okay. All right. Maybe
I know I'm good till the first of the year. I don't know if they've just not did a schedule.
Mhm.
I'm using bands right now and a few weights. What it is I've got some of my bigger muscles wanting to take over. And so she's working on that for me not to. My arm still hurts,
Okay.
I guess you call it. But I'm just a little stubborn, just a little bit. And I fight through it. You know, she goes, no pain. And I said, well, no pain, no gain. And she goes, no, that ain't the way it works.
It's not the way it works. No,
So-
there's a difference between pain and soreness, and
Right.
people don't always they don't always identify that. Okay, all right. Has she given you other things to do for strengthening purposes, things that you can do on your own?
Yeah, she has given me all the list, and I have them here at the house. I do them 3 times a day, between shooting and so she's working on getting the arm built up now. Even though like my bicep muscle for some reason has kicked in big time, and that's where I hurt is they attached my bicep and rotor cuff and a tendon all to one pin about right here. And so this was right here is where the pain is at that I have. So, and it's not that bad. It's just, I mean, I can move my arm. I can do everything. It's just, so, but I'm working on them and the shooting. And now some of the stuff you just talked about, like on the line, I do not see the people beside me. Okay. I don't see them.
That's good.
I do know my scores drop from practice to tournament, which they shouldn't, but they do. So I do know I need a little mental game, but my main thing is my release. If I get that release like I'm supposed to, it's there.
Yeah. I know it always was for me too. When I was shooting like those mini drive-bys, the problem is that the volume of arrows that it takes for you to, you always kind of have that door open for a big explosion when you're trying to essentially time the release with the tip of the arrow getting to that point.
Right.
You always have that door. It's like, you see how that door behind me right now is just like cracked open. That's target panic when you shoot that way. And when you, and not that necessarily goes away, but the easy shots are real easy when you switch, and the bad shots aren't as bad.
Okay.
So, that's all I can say. When you're training that bow arm to just not move and it just stays there, and you just let that string slide through those fingers. And when I say slide, it's like that. It's like stupid fast. That's it. But you maintain that posture in the hand, you maintain the hook, and it just kind of finishes. That's it, And when you have maybe a junky release, but that bow arm doesn't move, the bad shots aren't quite as bad. Right. So you're shooting a more forgiving shot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Again, I'm going to warn you, it's an uphill battle. It is not going to be easy.
Oh, I know.
I'm dealing with a vision issue right now. And, even like I didn't shoot great. I shot Lancaster's past weekend. I'm seeing 2 arrows.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah. I see 2 arrows that are like, if they're clear and almost transparent, and sometimes they're like this, sometimes they're like this. And even with good shots, if I'm aiming with the wrong arrow, I hit where I hit. There's nothing I can do about it. And there's nothing more frustrating than shooting good shots and realizing I aimed with the wrong arrow. Right. Every once in a while, I can get it in the middle. Like I can aim with like the middle of the 2 points, but so I'm working my way through that right now. But I still shot like a 480 something, which is not a great score by any means.
Right.
But like, I'm not upset over it because it was, I realized like it's the first tournament I have ever shot with 2 eyes open, not wearing glasses, and my eye taped out. Like I taped my eye. I'm going to go back to taping my eye for the time being. I'm working with Chuck Cooley right now to try to figure out a subscription that will fix my vision. But, we're always working on something, we always have something that we're trying to improve to get better. So I accept when the struggle is there, it's there. And that's what I call embracing the suck. So, it is what it is, but
right. Yeah.
So implementation right now, how many arrows are you shooting every week? And what kind of arrows are they? Is it only scoring? Is it shooting drills? What is it?
Well, now before surgery, I was shooting 600 arrows a day. Okay. That, I love to shoot. I love watching arrow fly. And I was trying to work on them, but you still have them ones you think after you shot, why in the hell did I let go? I mean, it wasn't even close. Since surgery, I'm shooting, I don't know, 100 arrows in the morning, maybe 100 in the afternoon total. They now I
Every day. I do this every day.
every day. Yes. I love to shoot.
Okay. That's okay.
But,
That's great. That's great. I'm gonna make you take days off now.
What's that?
You're gonna end up taking time off.
I take time off when I travel to shoots. That's the only.
You're gonna end up taking time off. If you want me to coach you all the way through and not just help you with the release, you have to give your body a chance to recover before a tournament.
It does. It recovers
not
when I
traveling.
sleep.
No. You talk to your therapist, your physical therapist, about periodization and training and how you ramp up volume and then back it off. Talk to Demmer about it. He may or may not admit it. He probably will, because he's done better with it, especially like Target Nationals last year. But he's one that was always notorious for shooting just stupid volumes of arrows. Like he hits practice scores that are unheard of. And he probably could get closer to those practice scores if he let himself recover some too sometimes. You have to let your brain and your body heal a little bit. And there's a way to do that. It's different for everybody. I use like a general formula, but it is different for everybody. But when you go into a tournament knowing that you are ready and that you're ready to shoot, like you're excited to shoot, versus you go into a tournament shooting as much as you can the week before because you don't feel ready. Do you understand the mental side of that?
Yep.
There's a big upswing to the mental side, which allows you to shoot those practice scores in the tournament because you're really good, you're healthy, mentally you're rested and strong, and you've done all that preparation in that 4-week or 3-week period prior to the tournament, so that when you get there, you're amped up and ready to go. I want to shoot. I know exactly what I need to do. I'm ready to shoot. Instead, you're like, oh, I should have shot more arrows. I'm not ready. I usually shoot, and then you're already starting to second guess yourself, and you're already in a negative mindset. So we're gonna get rid of that.
Okay.
What you do is you're essentially getting rid of you're wiping away that anything negative. And that this is one way to do it. And that's what periodization is not just for your physical healing, but also the mental. And when you go into a tournament like anxious, you're ready, like I want to shoot, I cannot wait, I know exactly what I need to do. I was shooting my best 3 weeks ago. I know that it typically ends up coming out on the right side for someone who has experience. So but we'll talk about that over the next few weeks and how we get you ready. I guess going for the classic really is what your goal is. Your goal is that's the first big indoor of the year. So you want to perform well there.
Right. Now I'm shooting the Iowa Pro-Am in 2 weeks.
Okay.
But it's Podoc one compared to Lancaster.
Sure.
But it's a tournament, to get there. So
yeah, I know a few people that are going to that. So then this is what we're gonna do for as a quick implementation to your training. If you're going to shoot that many arrows per day, 50% of them have to be shooting drills.
okay.
So you're not just shooting at a target 200 arrows a day, 100 arrows twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Half of those need to be shooting drills.
Okay.
And also understand, like, I'm a big advocate for draw hold, right?
Right.
And a draw hold is the full shot with exception of letting go of it. Your anchor and your aim is you're letting that arrow float right where you want your aim point to be.
Mm-hmm.
So the implement, like, just to take what you're currently doing, what I would do is I would take one day and completely remove that entire day from shooting, don't shoot at all. One day, just one day a week. It's not, you'll be okay.
You want me to go bananas, don't you?
You'll be okay. There's time to be served doing other things. Your wife will thank me. But so maybe, well, maybe not. I should rethink that. I might have to have a session with her and just make sure. 'Cause
Yeah,
she might be happy that you shoot 200 arrows a day. So you need to give your body at least a day of rest. All right. I don't care if you go hike. I don't care if you go hunting, whatever. Do something physical to occupy your brain and your body, you know, but just walk away from the bow for at least one day. All right. The other, give me at least 2 other days where you're just doing shooting drills for half of those arrows. If you're only able to shoot 100 arrows that day, 50 of them should be shooting drills.
Okay.
2 days a week. It's real simple. That's the first change we're going to make before we totally get you, until I get the videos to review you shooting. Okay.
Right.
So blind bail, a 3-second draw hold counts as an arrow. So if you come up and you do 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 with your aim and let down, that's 1 shot.
Okay.
Count that as a shot. Okay.
Yep.
I do variations of those. So, you know, and to do 10 of these at 3 seconds, before you know it, you're going to have 50 in no time.
Right. Yeah.
But don't shortchange the 3 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3.
Okay.
But for the time being, until your shoulder gets stronger, I'm not going to go more than like 3 or 5 seconds. All right.
Okay.
So, and I'll give you an example. So say you plan to shoot 100 arrows in the afternoon and 100 arrows in the morning. Your first 50 arrows, let's say you shoot 25 blind bail, and then you do 25 draw holds, and then you shoot.
Okay.
Okay. You can mix and match it morning, afternoon, however you want. It doesn't matter. And then we'll get into, you know, some other drills as we need them. We may not need them. Also throw in there, do you have any 3 spots? Do you shoot at home or do you shoot at a club?
I shoot at home.
Okay. So
I have a range. I can shoot inside, but I shoot outside. But
okay.
it's heated, so I can do this year round.
Okay. So also throw in there the 3 meter 30x drill. All right. Once a week. And what that is you take a 3 spot. Okay. Start at 3 meters. And I want you to try, you can crawl if you want to, you can gap shoot. I don't care. You find where you need to aim, and you need to hit the X 30 times in a row.
Okay.
Start at 3 meters. Don't skip to 5 or 10. Start at 3 meters. You'll get it. You might get it on the first shot. That's fine. If you do, then next week you're going to go to 5 meters.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, see, I've never done anything like that.
Yeah.
But I do know blind bail, and like I said, I'm shooting, I don't know, 3 yards, 4 yards in my shop.
Sure.
That's where I do my blind bail and stuff. I cannot shoot more than 1 arrow at a bullseye. Okay.
Yeah.
Even now, without being trained, I guess you'd call it, or I'll blow arrows up. I mean,
sure.
I'm the same spot every time. So
yeah, no, and that's so blind bail, you can aim off, you know, it doesn't matter. I don't want you to shoot smash arrows or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, at 18 meters, it's not a problem, but at 3 meters, you know, you're shooting a 3 spot. That's why.
Okay.
No, you're shooting eyes open, full shot, but you're going to notice like the discipline to hit the X this big at 3 meters isn't far off from what it takes to keep them in the gold at 18.
Okay.
You know,
now you said eyes open. I shoot with 1 eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Eyes open. If you shoot with 2 eyes or 1 eye open?
With 1.
Man,
I used to shoot 2 eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
A buddy of mine that I shoot with has to shut 1 eye. Otherwise, he sees 2 different targets, 2 different arrows. Okay.
Yeah, that's my problem right now.
Right. And you can aim with it. when I shoot both eyes open, it's like pointing your finger at something.
Yeah.
It looks like it's there,
Yep.
but it ain't. Okay.
I get it. That's
For the
exactly,
last-
that's very similar to what I'm going through.
I'm gonna say the last 3 years, I've always shut my left eye. I'm sighting right down the arrow. So
Do you shoot with that? Do you shoot with a short brim hat? You have the hat that you always wear, that like
Right.
say leather or whatever. You can't shoot with a blinder, can you, and keep that left eye open?
I never tried it.
You don't wear glasses to shoot.
No,
You have glasses, just readers.
I just readers. I have 20/20 vision.
Right. Except
For being 65 years old, I ain't too bad.
that's pretty good. Better than me. If there was a way, and we'll work through this, because I mean, again, I don't care if you close your left eye. I advocate to shoot with both eyes open, because when you close your eye, you create tension all the way down your face, through your cheek, and into your neck and shoulder. It's minute per se, but you don't recognize it until you get rid of it, along with the other negative tension in your shot, and you realize how much of a benefit there is.
Okay.
And another thing, and that comes from compound and Olympic recurve too. When you're active into that shot, and that tension is what helps you hold nice and still, and you learn to shoot without one eye versus two eyes, or one eye closed versus two eyes open, and you realize how much easier it is to hold. That's a compound Olympic recurve thing that carries over to barebow. I think the problem is, Spanky, is that most people don't shoot consistent enough to really see it, to realize, holy crap, that does have an effect on me. So,
Okay.
but I'm not saying that that's not a priority at the moment. If we can play around with it and see if there's a way around it, I think you'll see a benefit, though, for sure.
Okay.
But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right.
Yep.
All right. So I need 3 videos of you shooting competition distance, or 4 videos, 1 or 2 shots from above, 1 or 2 shots from position 1, position 2, and then position 3, position 4. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Then we'll go from there, and then welcome to the Coaching Spanky Brooks episode of the Barebow Project. This should be this will be good. But I don't mind. I don't mind, and I'm honored that you reached out to me, man. And I just hope that we can help you go in a positive direction since your surgery.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I know that I am decent, but I want to be better.
Love it. I love it.
It to me, that drive there is just as much as wanting to shoot as many arrows a day as I can, because I love it.
It's great.
So
All right, man. Well, you got some work to do.
okay.
So you can either apologize to your wife for me for making you take a day off, or I apologize to her for making you be around for that one.
You'll probably have to apologize, because that was part of my retirement, is that I would not be in the house.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
But
all right.
Now, for 12 weeks, or 10 weeks,
she's dealing
I've
with
been
you
in the
for 12
house.
weeks. Oh gosh, that's funny. All right. Well, then I guess I apologize in advance, but
Okay.
we'll have to find you another healthy habit to get your mind, give your mind.
Well, I make knives as well, so that's what I do
Oh,
in between shooting. So
really?
yes.
We might have to show me some of your products there, my man.
I'll try and bring a couple to Lancaster with me.
Okay.
So,
Well,
but yeah, I
hopefully-
make
Want to show me?
yeah, you got one? My wife's bringing one over.
All right, cool.
These I just got done 2 days ago.
No way. That is awesome.
Yes, and that's out of Leaf Spring.
You made that out of a leaf spring from a truck.
Yes, yes. And then I
No
make the
way.
cases that go with them. So, yeah, it's
I'll be sending you a message on the side to see if I can't get one before Christmas for someone. That's awesome. All right.
So-
All right. Deal. Perfect.
But, yep, so I do that. So yes, I mean, now my beau will probably divorce me if I don't pick her up and caress her every day. You
Oh,
know that.
gosh. You're one of those. I don't have that approach, but you'll be okay.
Okay,
You'll be fine.
I'm taking your word for it.
You'll be
So,
okay. There's a time and a place for that type of volume. We just need to wean you off of it a little bit so that you can do it at the right time. But all right, my man. So you enjoy your homework. I'll send you that video real quick.
okay,
And just think about the things we talked about and really pay attention to the steps in your shot process from the moment you set your stance all the way through. And we're going to talk about that on video then. Okay.
okay,
All right.
sounds good.
Perfect. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, will do. Bye.